We have a very interesting subject today. Today, we're going to talk about 7 things not to do when you're angry with your spouse, because you will be from time to time, and this is for sure. Remember, as I reintroduce a little part of myself, I'm a woman who has been married for 61 years. 61 years. And not one of those marriages was we just here together and we just enduring and we're not roommates. We're for real married, with a little romance still going on. And that makes me somewhat of an expert. I may not be an expert on all the men and women, but on situations and how to handle them, I am. Because even though it's been pretty much 6 decades of bliss, there have been turmoil. It didn't get here overnight. We didn't go all the way to 61 without any problems. Just like anybody else, there's been problems. And I have learned some things not to do and some things to do when you have an argument or when somebody's angry. First of all, if you're in a situation where you're angry or he's angry or she's angry, somebody messed up. Somebody's in trouble and somebody else is upset about it. Somebody's in defense mode. That's what you got to watch. Somebody's in defense mode because when you're wrong and you know you're wrong, there's a tendency to want to defend yourself. Now, number one, what not to do is do not, and I'm checking it off, get loud. That's number one. Don't be loud. Don't tell me, you know you did it. I'm gonna do, whoa, whoa. No. Nobody can hear anybody, especially if both of you talking. You say, listen, I need to talk to you about something. This really got me upset. You know, when you did whatever you did, that hurt me because it made me feel like you didn't care about my feelings. It made me feel like you just was all cared about what you wanted and not about what I wanted, or whatever the situation is. But that's the tone. That's what I'm saying, the tone. Bring it down, because when you bring it down, they almost have to listen. But when you're shouting and throwing things and having a fit and going crazy, no. So that's one thing not to do. Don't get loud. Keep it at a conversational tone. Even if you cry, sometimes you cry, but still keep it like you're talking and not shouting. It works better. People can hear you. That other person can hear what you're saying if you lower your tone. That's number one. Number two, do not hit below the belt. She told you something that happened to her when she was a little girl or when she was a teenager or something, and it hurt her and it embarrassed her, and now you mad with her and you throwing it up. You bringing it in her face, you washing her face and what she's already been hurt in. That's just wrong. Same thing. He's told you something he's never told anybody else, just you. Because he trusted you, because he knew you loved him, and he tells you this, and you get angry and say, no wonder that happened to you. You probably brought it on yourself. You can't do that. That's so hurtful. That's the kind of hurt that is hard to get over. It's hard to get over that. First of all, you betrayed me because I told you this and then you threw it back in my face to hurt me some more, and you knew it hurt. Don't do that. Even if you're desperate and you're really mad with them, don't do that. Especially when you know that this is a marriage that you're working on, not one that's going to be cast aside, but it's one that you want to go through. So you have to go through these times, and you can't be dirty. You can't hit below the belt. You cannot do that. Number one, don't be loud. Number two, don't hit below the belt, which is kind of like number three, which is not bringing up something that person did. We're not talking about something they told you. We're something you've experienced with them. You got over that one. That's over with, and you bring it back up. No, don't bring that back up. Don't bring old stuff back up. Don't throw in everything because you're mad about this one. Remember, you're mad about this specific thing. You're mad about this specific thing, so you don't bring up all the other things she did or he did in the past. Let that go because you've already resolved that particular situation. Another thing not to do, number 4, the silent treatment. That's easy to do. You really don't want to talk to somebody that you're angry with. You really, really, and it works. It punishes them real well. They feel it, but it's not solving anything. Now, sometimes you have to be quiet long enough to get your thoughts together and to get yourself to the place where you don't shout. Sometimes you need that little time to not talk right now. Not in the mood. No, not now, sir. You might feel that, and it says, okay, I'll just say later. Later. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later. And then go on and get it together so you can use that conversational tone when you're mad. Now, the way I'm talking now, specifically, it's like you're the person who's angry. I'm talking from the angry person's point of view. But then there's the defensive person's point of view, too. So you could be in either one of those positions at any time. You know, you could be the one who did the offending and the other one is coming at you. This is number 5. Accept your role. If you were wrong, you were wrong. That's another thing that's hard because it makes that other person just want to keep on at you and keep on at you and keep on at you because you're not seeing what you're doing. Now, if that person is doing what I said and speaking in the conversational tone and telling you exactly how they feel, the person may be talking to you, he or she may even cry while he or she is talking because tears come from both genders, you know. And while that person is talking and telling you how they feel, and you know you can't argue with somebody's feelings, and you know you did what that person said you did. Now, they may not have you right on what you thought while you were doing it. They might didn't read your mind right, but they know what you did. So you can explain if you want to, if there's a good explanation, but for the most part, as you listen, you got to listen. One of the reasons you get so defensive is because it hurts you to hear what you did. It hurts you to hear that you did this to somebody, and it should. That's what makes it good. That's how you can resolve it. And so if it hurts you because he's hurt, and I'm going to let the woman be the person who did the hurting this time, because it hurts you because he's hurt, you should look at him and say, you know what? I'm so sorry. I really am. And you need to be sorry when you say you're sorry. It's called repentance. That means that you really are sorry down in your soul that you did this and that you never intend to ever do it again. That's the most important thing. So you say, I'm sorry I hurt you. I really am. I'm sorry. If they say, what made you do that? What made you do it? If you know, tell them. If you don't know, say, I don't know. I guess I was just stupid. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. But I know one thing. I'm not doing it again because I don't ever want to hurt you like this, ever. It may not even be that deep, but sometimes we go that deep. We can go some real deep now in some marriages over some real trivial stuff. You know that, don't you? We can go real deep, but then sometimes it is deep stuff. Sometimes it's really deep stuff. In that case, own up to it, and promise never to do it again, and don't. So you got to see yourself. You cannot be innocent in every situation. You just cannot be. Something, if you did it, say you did it. If you said it, admit it, apologize, and move on. Let me tell you something good, a cute one. I like this one. You know, sometimes you're angry with somebody. Now I'm going to make you angry again. Sometimes you're angry with somebody, and they taking it a little light. They're not really seeing it because you're really not talking yet. You still into the silent spot. And they pass by you and they walk over to you and they do this. For you to kiss them. Well, you know you're not in the mood. But this is how I feel about that. You know how when somebody walks up to you, and men do this bad, get in and do the high five or the bump or the high five bump, and nobody wants to be left hanging. Nobody wants that little fist sticking out there and somebody walked off from it. Nobody wants their hand in the air like this and somebody walked off from it. Nobody wants their lips stuck out either and somebody walked off from it. That hurts. And you look around and they go, don't leave the lips hanging. Now that's the fun part. That actually could break the ice before the conversation. If they stick their lip out like this, go, even if you got an attitude, kiss it with an attitude. Just go, and it's act just like you can still keep your attitude. You're not unmad. You're just not gonna leave his lips hanging out there like that. Now I know that's a hard one, but that one, that's almost like giving you a jewel. Kiss that lip while it's out there, and then keep walking. Still hot. You might even still be crying. That's some romantic stuff. I don't care what you say. That's some good stuff right there. I'm serious. That make you almost forget what you was mad about. Okay, you got to go there. That is good. Look, you got to keep it juicy in the house. So do not, and I mean do not, leave the lips hanging in the house. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. If they trusted you enough to stick their lips out there, the least you can do is smack it with your mouth, not with your hand. Okay? Let's get that clear right now. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, one night, and this is the leading. This is my number 7. Or did I say number 6 yet? Let me make sure. Resolve the issue. Do not go to bed, go 2 days, go 3 days, a whole day without fixing it. Resolve the situation. Now, that's one thing we were good at, and that's because of me and my mouth, because I got to talk it out. He had no choice but to have a conversation with me because I was going to talk and talk until we get to something. And then when he gets angry, he's gonna talk, but I really don't want to hear because I was gonna try to overtalk him because that's my because I don't want to hear how I hurt your feelings. I really don't. You can listen how you. I don't want to hear how you hurt your feelings. I don't. So I might. Well, you just sensitive. You just that's going back to not taking the responsibility. But my issue, where I want to leave it on this note, is do not leave the situation unresolved. Don't fix it. One night, my husband and I, of course, I was the one, I think, in trouble that night. I was in trouble. And I'm not going to tell you a lot of my business, but I'm going to tell you enough of my business to show you I know what I'm talking about and use it, for example, to help you make the point. I will tell enough of that. But I'm not going to go deep into any of our business. As a matter of fact, if you ask me my personal business too many times, you might get blocked. Because I've already told you, and I will be sitting from time to time. Because I'm going to tell you the part that's going to be useful to you, but everything is not your business. You know, people look at people on social media and say, they on there telling all their business. No, they're not. They're not telling the bad part. We all got some. No, they're not telling all their business. You can believe that. If they are, you'll know it's ridiculous and crazy. But anyway, I'm going to tell you this little piece of my business. Back in the day, I got married real, real young. I was in my 20s. And I was super, super cute. Really, really cute. And I dressed cute. So at the time, it was during the time of the hot pants. And my sister, who had a really good job at the post office, bought me a hot pants outfit. It was velvet. It was burgundy, which, by the way, is my favorite winter color is burgundy. I like burgundy and olive green in the wintertime. So my husband was a policeman. And he was working. And he was working in the mall. And he and another guy was working in the mall. Now, this is just horrible, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I don't know why I went by there to see him. I have no idea. I had 2 Afro puffs sticking out here and some hot pants on. Hot pants, like Daisy Duke. And it was wintertime, but I had some opaque black pantyhose under it. And it was really cute. I was really cute, really cute. And I was switching because I knew I was cute. And I walked up to him. And on my way to him, he told me this later on. And say I went out with my sisters and brothers. We went out and partied that night while he was working. My mama would keep all our children and we would party. I know some stuff, I'm telling y'all. So I was switching up there to him and I said something to him. He said a little something to me and he left. So that night we had to sit on the side of the bed. And he told me, he said, listen. He said, when you started walking toward me, I was standing there with this other guy. And the guy said, man, I sure would like to have that. He said, I said, man, that's my wife. Now, that wasn't my fault. Now, really, I couldn't help it because I was walking cute and the man said that. Now, that was not my fault. But I stayed out too long too with my sisters and brothers, so he had to come home. Can you imagine what that looked like to him? I'm riding there switching some high pants on, then coming home late at night. That was horrible, and it hurt him so bad. And so I really didn't want to hear, but all I could do was apologize. Honestly, I tried for a little few minutes to defend it. Like, I can't help it, like I just said. I can't help it because the man said that. I can't do that. But the truth of the matter is this: if a person's hurt and you hurt them, whether it was accidentally or on purpose, you take the credit for what you did. But this is what we would do. And that night we did this, and we would do it every time. Every time. We talked and talked and talked and talked it out. And talked it out and talked it out. The next thing I knew, the sun had come up and the room was lit up with daylight. That's how we did it. That's how we did it on everything. We never let stuff go unresolved. We bring it up, we would talk about it, we roll it around, and we would come to some resolution. And I think that's that number 7, to resolve the issue. We would come to some resolution, and then we put it to rest. But I don't have to tell you this. When that passion is high like that, and you come to a resolution, I don't have to tell you how it really is, don't you? And all the children will still sleep. All I'm saying is this: do what you got to do to make it work for you, because there's nothing that our community needs more than good households with good married couples sending out wonderful children. We need this because good marriages, good homes leads to a good, solid community. I think that's all I'm going to say about that right now. But you know what y'all need to do? Take care of yourself until I see you. See you later.